What's up, G.I. Joe fans? Welcome back to the M.I.B. Master Museum. I'll be your curator today. Guys, got another cool one for you. All the way from 2000, we bring you the G.I. Joe Navy SEAL with exploding mine. And they make it seem so exciting too. You got to have that exploding mine in there. Let's bring this guy in. This was a carded figure that was on a deluxe level. And what I mean by that, guys, is that this figure had everything that a deluxe price figure would have for half the price, and it was a carded figure. And I bought this from an old toy store called Family Toy Store for $16.99, all the way back in the year 2000. Great price for this figure. I would love to be able to tell you what it would run for now. I don't see them a lot on eBay. I would always say check Coswell Collectibles first and foremost, eBay second, and then I would try Amazon. But this figure is extremely cool. The playability and collectability factors are off the charts with this figure. One of my favorite head sculpts. Let's bring this guy in. Card is beautiful, real straight. It's this figure is kept in one of my massive plastic containers, so it seldom sees the day of, the light of day, I should say. That head sculpt. This Navy SEAL comes with his scuba gear, machine gun, his oxygen harness. Here's the exploding bomb or exploding mine. Here's his goggles. This is from the Alpha assortment, and the price tag's blocking it. I was in Family Toy and Toys. There's his flippers. I was in there and I said, you know what? I saw this guy, didn't have him, anything that really looked like him in my collection at the time, and had to get him. And at that point, if it said G.I. Joe and it was a 12-inch figure, chances are I was going to buy it. I was on a mission to collect every G.I. Joe that was being produced during that time period. So I made no bones about it. I absolutely, positively, if I had to leave a G.I. Joe on a toy store shelf, and I tried not to leave any G.I. Joes behind, but if I had to, within a couple days or the next day, I was right back at that store, that location, to pick that figure up. Let's set him back up here. He does better up here. But this is just, it's on, like I said, a beautiful card. The carded figures were nothing new. When I was a kid growing up in the 70s, we had the carded figures, the G.I. Joes on the cards and stuff. We couldn't have, our family couldn't afford them, but they were beautiful then, and they're beautiful now. Hasbro has just really did a great job at producing these carded figures and making them very pleasing to the eye. You can see this bubble is in beautiful condition. It's factory sealed, obviously. But more important than that, you see how shiny it is. I don't take it out very often. A lot of my carded figures simply just don't come out. They're in containers. They're under protected, plastic tarps. So everything here at the museum is, is looked after and cared for very diligently. We take our collecting very seriously. Guys, if you're just joining us, welcome to the M.I.B Master Museum channel. We're here hanging out in our museum today, and we're doing a beautiful review on the G.I. Joe Navy SEAL with exploding mind. Guys, do you have this figure? Are you looking for this figure? Like I said, I gave you 3 spots that you probably could check. Cosmo Collectibles first, eBay second, and then I would say Amazon third. At least with eBay, you get a ton of pictures and descriptions. Amazon, I find that you don't get a lot of that. So to me, in my mind, I'm shopping blind when I'm trying to buy my action figures off of Amazon. So I don't really use Amazon a lot. I will use them from time to time, but not a lot. And thankfully, it's very rare that I will buy a G.I. Joe off of Amazon or anywhere outside of Cosmo Collectibles, primarily because I have such an extensive and massive G.I. Joe collection that I purchased decades ago. So most of my G.I. Joes came from the toy stores when they were first produced. I love this head sculpt. I love the closeness of his haircut there. Just a beautiful job on these figures. These figures has really stood the test of time. And what I mean by that, this figure came out in 2000. It was produced in 2000. And it looks like it literally can be put out into a toy store right now in 2018. And that's how these toys were built and manufactured from Hasbro, even way back then. This toy looks new enough to go right back on a toy store shelf. Beautiful. Let's turn this card around. Let's check the back out. There's a good side shot of that head sculpt. Classic collection, sculpted hands there. This card, I'm moving this card around, which looks like it's easy, but this card's heavy. It's got some weight to it. Here's a blown out shot of this back of the card, of the Navy SEAL card. There's our Navy SEAL, all geared up, ready to go. That's how he looks with all of his scuba gear on. There's that beautiful gun again. Got the flippers on. Here's his equipment list. There's a bubbleless scuba rebreather unit. That's what this big unit is right here. Pretty cool. Exploding limpet mine. It's dog tags. Here's the backstory on our Navy SEAL. You want to pause your video, you go right ahead. Check that out. And here's our instructions. Here's our instructions on our mine, exploding mine. You just press the button, they said. Push the button. Stick to smooth surface. Push button to explode. Awesome. Here's another one to look forward to. We have this G.I. Joe in our museum collection. Our Desert Air Defense. Super cool. Let's get you a year. 2000. It's fantastic, guys. Guys, what do you think of our Navy SEAL? Do you have this guy? Do you need this guy for your collection? Or do you just think this guy's cool? We would like to hear all of that. Leave your comments in the comment section right underneath this video. We'll get the chatter started about our G.I. Joe Navy SEAL. Guys, we'd like to thank you for hanging out with us today here in our museum. We're back on our G.I. Joe videos now. Been doing a lot of superhero videos and things of that nature. And we just kind of wanted to get back into our G.I. Joe vibe. Get you the collectors love the close-ups, so we'll get you some close-ups here of everything. This bubble is extremely shiny, so we apologize for that. We apologize for keeping everything nice and clean and shiny here at the museum. Our producer says, stop apologizing for being an M.I.B collector. You're always apologizing for being an M.I.B collector. She's right. I'm going to stop apologizing, guys. Sorry for keeping this clean. Guys, you know the routine. God bless. And keep collecting.